Woolx is here with one of our awesomest Woolx in Action team members, Dennis Plato.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. Dennis tested out some Woolx gear hiking over 1,600 miles on the Appalachian Trail this summer. We've been following along with him on his blog and on social media, his website, The Bus Question. It's super nice to meet you in person, and we're going to ask you a couple questions about the big hike and your Woolx gear.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, awesome. So hiking the AT is a life-changing undertaking for anyone, but you really went all out, quit your job, left your home. Can you tell us more about what motivated you or gave you the inspiration to take such a big courageous change in your life?
Sure. I think that so the AT was kind of part of a bigger life-changing project for me, and part of that was leaving a job that I wasn't crazy excited about. So I was in financial services for 6 years. It was good work and stuff, but I wanted a new challenge. And so I think that I saw the AT as an exciting adventure, but also as a way to push me out of work. Yeah, because I knew okay, in the spring I have to leave because I can't start.
It's a harsh reset from going to cubicle every day, hike for 10 hours every day. You are a new person when you're done in some ways.
It is so different. Yeah, and I think I am. I think it definitely it changed me. And so. Yeah, it was a really incredible experience. I couldn't be happier for having done it. Yeah.
Do you think did you have a good idea of what it was going to be like when you got out there, or when you got out there, were you blown away by how different it was than what you were expecting?
I think I'd read a lot and watched a lot. I think that the focus for me going in was the personal growth and the physical challenge and the vistas. And those were definitely there, but the focus quickly changed so much more to be about the people that I was with, and they changed me way more than the trail changed me, or the physical challenge, or.
That's awesome. I've definitely heard that people talk about the community on the trail as just being amazing, and the people being fantastic, and even non-hikers, the locals along the way, leave pizzas out, and it's just a big community of. Awesome. So that was definitely your experience as well?
Yeah, and the first, so I'm on a road trip right now, and the first stop was to go up to Maine to see, I had to get off trail, but I was able to go up and see friends, and, it's really family. It's my trail family.
So you think those people, they're in your life permanently
now? Oh, for sure.
Definitely?
For
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So let's see. Alright, your trail name is Octopus.
Yep.
Tell us where that came from.
So in 2008, after college, I traveled a little bit during college, and I had the sense that after college, if I started working right away, that would be it, until I retire. And so I wanted to do one big adventure, and so I biked across the country. And so I started out, I did it with Bike and Build, a nonprofit benefiting affordable housing. Started out in North Carolina, and we rode out to California, and at a flea market in North Carolina, I found this really adorable little orange octopus, and I zip-tapped into the top tube on my bike. So he was there smiling up at me the whole ride. I named him Effie for every effing inch.
Nice.
Because I wanted
motivation, the thighs on a bike. You need that motivation.
Going up the hill, and I'm just, the tears are coming down, and I look down, and he's smiling up at me. So I was by the end of the ride, I was really, he was special spot
in your heart. Nice.
Yeah, so I zip-tied into my pack for the ride.
Did
and
you,
saw it and,
look over your shoulder
at
him on hard uphill
and
or
it was
anything?
a good conversation starter. So someone saw it, and they were like, "You're Octopus," and it's not offensive. So I said, "Sure."
Well, then you don't get a creepy trail name that someone else made up for you.
Right. Exactly.
Drool monkey or whatever, or stalker.
I didn't see that, but I'm glad I didn't get it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you sound. Obviously, this was a super positive experience for you. You had an amazing time. You had to leave the trail before Canada, before you,
I did, yeah.
Technically, you're finished. What are your feelings about this? You sound like you had such a great time that you're not necessarily regretful, but, what are your thoughts on it?
Sure. My plan was definitely to get to Katahdin.
Katahdin, not
Katahdin. Yeah. No, that's, and I think that, there's always going to be a part of me that wishes I got there, but I really don't have a whole lot of regret because, when I started the trail, there's another way that it changed is that, I had this, I looked at it as the start to the end, right? So the 2,190 miles in between, and getting there. And I think that it became so much more about the experience in the present as opposed to, having the quote-unquote accomplishment. And, I had such an incredible experience that, I had the AT experience. And I may go back, but, people have said, almost reassuringly, we know you're gonna finish it. We know you're gonna go back and
Look, I finished my hike.
Yeah,
you
but
know what I mean?
but I really, and I don't know, because if I relocate to Colorado or somewhere else, like, and I have a job where I vacation, maybe I'm gonna spend it out there doing cool stuff there. Like, I don't.
And I mean, honestly, the Appalachian Trail itself is just an arbitrary place in Georgia, an arbitrary place in Maine.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a hike. Like,
and
it doesn't. You know what I mean?
and so and I mean, I had the time with the people. So,
Well, that's awesome. Very cool. Let's see. All right, here's the big question that we're all waiting for.
Sure.
You had some Woolx gear, particularly your Outback tee that you wore most of the time, I think, and your daily boxers. Awesome.
Yep.
Tell us about how it worked for you and what your thoughts are.
It worked awesome. I mean, I was a big proponent of merino wool on trail.
Mm-hmm.
I know that people hiked in a lot of different things. I saw a few misguided people in cotton. It was a bad choice. And then the choice is really like synthetic versus merino wool, and the synthetic just smells so much, and the merino wool. Like, so every time I washed the merino wool and put it back on, it was like a brand new shirt, and it didn't have the funk. I was really happy. I mean, I've compared it to other, I've had like smart wool product as well, and I do prefer this. I mean, particularly the boxers are a little more comfortable. But I couldn't, my hands down, my favorite piece of clothing on trail was the t-shirt.
That's fantastic here. We're super excited. I can't imagine a way to test it out more hardcore than hiking 10 hours a day for 1,600 miles or 8 hours a day or whatever.
I step 1 foot into the woods and I'm nasty, so
it's good.
It ran its course.
If people are running away from you, that's probably a good test for it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Do you have any advice for people who are thinking about undertaking a thru hike, or even just some big adventure like you did, like cutting loose from their life and looking for something different?
Sure. I guess I'll do both of those, right? Okay. So if you're going to do a thru hike, I would focus a lot on. I would listen to people when they talk about doing lighter weight gear, and I mean, you're definitely going to, you're going to start out with stuff and send some home. I think nearly everyone does that, but there are a few big pieces like the tent, the sleeping bag, the pack that. If you make good choices about those from the start, you can save money by not having to replace them afterward. And then for people in general, I think because I was fairly terrified, like quitting my job and because I don't have like limitless money.
I'm gonna run out of it,
right? Yeah, no, I'm quickly running out. But I think for me, like part of my experience was sort of embracing that fear, and I think that. I wrote a little bit about this on my site, but it's about sort of reframing your fear, right? So I sort of found something that I was more scared of, and for me that was like I knew that I wanted to try something else that sort of challenged me and offered me opportunity to grow in the direction that I wanted to grow, and so looking at like maybe down the road, not having done that I was more scared of that feeling of that
like
future
10, 20
regret.
years from now, looking back and like I never did it.
Maybe
that's worse than any.
Maybe I go broke, you know, but like at least I tried. And
fear is worse than pain. I will say, like the fear of something is always worse than the experience of like what will happen if I quit my job.
Yeah.
And
I'm so glad I did it.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're glad you did it too.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's see. So right now, speaking of the future, you're on the road right now. This is why you got to stop by Woolx.
Yep.
On a road trip heading out to Colorado. Can you share with us a little idea of what your plans are, or what drew you to Colorado specifically?
Sure. So yeah, the road trip should last about a month. And I'm also looking at like Portland, Oregon, but Colorado is really the one that's on my mind. And I think it's because, well, I love mountains and they're bigger there, and like the skiing and the snowboarding, which I'd like to get more into, is I've never done it there, but like everyone just
everything's like
the
the
powder
extreme
and the,
version of that. We have hiking in other parts of the country, we have mountains, we have skiing, but there they have like the big version of it.
And I think too, like I think it's my tribe. I think it's the people that are gonna model their lives around adventure and being outside. It's hard to do as a secondary activity, I find. So when I was working a lot and trying to fit it in outside, it's hard because you get distracted, and so I think out there it's just going to be
you
very
just focus on what you love and who you want to be.
Just make time for it. Yeah.
Right, well, that's awesome. Well, I have it on good authority from many of our other Woolx in Action people and our Instagram people are in Colorado right now. They send us crazy, amazing pictures.
I've seen them.
I think you're making the right call.
Cool,
so I think you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
But thank you so much for stopping by and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Fantastic.
This is cool. Thanks.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.